We realized that life is not certain, because once that earthquake happened and it was not stopping, we didn't know what was happening. This is not something that we could predict, and we didn't know what tomorrow would have for us. Like now it's been 1 year and still we feel like aftershocks, but for the initial like 3 to 6 months, it was really like we didn't know how to think of the next day, because we didn't know like if another big earthquake would come and what would happen. I hope like we get over with this situation very soon. Like 1 year has passed and still there are many people in the villages who are living without a shelter, who don't have proper provisions yet for their living. So I really hope that they start to rebuild their lives, and they they start to have come back to the normal life that they deserve to be in. Yeah, that's my hope for Nepal. And I've seen all my colleagues, like when the earthquake happened, um, we could see like being a humanitarian how it feels, because like from I guess the second or third day, almost all of us were in the office. Like we knew that every one of us had families. None of us were living inside our homes, because we were we were afraid. Like most of us were living outside, but still we had that urge that we needed to go out and we needed to help the communities that we work for. So yeah, I think it was a great realization in many ways. Even though our context is fragile, the state we are in fragile, but somehow it feels that Nepalese people are really strong. Like we are really strong, and it really, it is really something that I'm really proud of my country and the people that are there in my country. We were working in Bhaktapur through like the local Red Cross community, like the local Red Cross. We were involving them and working with them. So it was really like, if the person hadn't told me that, I would have never guessed. So there was this one person who was volunteering, and he was there full time. He was helping us like reach the communities, arranging all the logistics, so that like when we are delivering goods, they've been delivered properly, like making us in contact with the right people who have actually been affected by the earthquake. But like only after some time, like only after working with him for like 2 or 3 days, I realized that his house had like completely gone down. Like he didn't have his house anymore. So yeah, like there were many examples, such examples where people who didn't, they had lost their houses, they had lost so much, but they were still there helping you so actively, and you couldn't even realize, like you couldn't even know that they had suffered a loss. And so we had many examples of that. Now personally, like I think we know that life is not to be taken granted for. We know that anything could happen, and there's so many things that we can control, but there are some things you can't control. So that's what I think the main thing that we've learned from life.